Hello and welcome. This is your host Frost, and this is my MK1 guide for Smoke. Now, if you're looking to have a possibly easier time in the matchup, or just looking for more knowledge in general about how to beat him, or if you're just simply looking to learn how to play the character, then this guide is for you. This guide will cover his weaknesses and some stuff that Smoke players like to do and how to get around it to help you out. And in the next section, we'll go over like some setups, combos, stuff I like to do, or maybe stuff I've seen or that you've already seen. And that can be stuff you lab out and take into Combat League or what have you. But yeah, let's get started. All right, welcome to the first section of this guide. So, Smoke is a heavily debated character in the community. You have a lot of people who think he's like broken and like an S rank character and just like really good, and then you have the actual Smoke players that try to tell people that no, this character is not like super great. Maybe if he performs his best and like everything goes his way, he's like A minus, maybe A plus, but he is not that. And I understand a lot of people don't lab. They like to, just go on to Combat League and just fight, 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 fight. They see one thing, that's it. That's what he does. I can't beat it. There's no way around it. And like, yes, on the surface, he seems really good. He's got this skip neutral tool. I mean, goes pretty damn far. He's got this move. That's hold on. Ignore that. It's +8 on block. He's got that move. He's got the mix, right? He's got this move now. He can do this to you. He can do this. He can go invisible. Like, it's a lot of stuff. Like, he can cancel in your face. I can't really do it that well on this side. Hold on. There we go. He'll be doing that in like rapid succession. Just trying to get you to freak out, basically. But I will be showing you how to deal with that stuff. So let's get started. All right, now before this goes any further, I want you to keep in mind that we're going to be looking at mostly Smoke. The cameos are just extra. Now, it's not Smoke that's broken. It is the cameos that help him to make it seem like he's broken. Because without the cameos, he's nothing. And because of another thing that exists in this game, it shuts him down quite a bit. If this was like any other Mortal Kombat game, he'd be pretty good. So, but let's break this down. So, I have Smoke right here. Let us switch back to our friend T1000. And we'll go with something, you see a lot, right? Alright, so first up we have the famous Smoke cancels that I'm sure everyone is aware of by now. That look like just relentless pressure. But if you turn your attention to the right-hand corner of the screen, you will see that for a brief moment, Smoke is -5. What does that mean? Well, we can just get a combo, and we don't have to sit through that. Now, Smoke's cancels don't really grant him, like, advantage normally on their own, unless you're the smoke you're fighting decides to spend a bar, which I don't see a lot. Um, he can be plus 12 if he enhances off of this forward 4 into the enhanced cancel. That came out wrong. But if they don't enhance it, it's negative 10. And that is a free combo for you. So pay close attention to whether they enhance it or not. So if they do, you can feel free to interrupt. Now, if he does this overhead into the cancel, he's plus 2. And the most you can get out of that is a excuse me, a poke. Unless you're being really respectful, and then he can, grab you or something else. You also have +1. And you have -1. And normally this string is +2. So there's no reason for them to enhance this. That came out wrong. Now, a lot of smoke players you'll see them like just going ham with the cancels, and the opponent will just be sitting there and not really doing anything. But if he's not spending a bar, you can poke him, you could possibly grab him, or you can get a free combo. You just gotta put smoke up. This is where these drills will come in. Put smoke up to do these cancels. This may require you to learn them, or if you run into a smoke player that just does them like no problem, save the replay and go over that and practice reacting to the cancels. Because another thing about smoke that is a huge weakness from is he's really reactable. Now, it may not seem like it, but I promise you he is. With his overhead being 28 frames, 24 frames. This is not an overhead, but also 28 frames. Versus, I don't know, a 6 frame overhead. Yeah, there's a lot more to be scared of in this game than smoke. It's also got this teleport. It's not really that fast. It starts at 10, but then goes to 30 seconds. So the way to get good at fighting smoke is to set him up to do stuff like this so that you can get better at reacting to it. Oh, wonder if I can... Yeah, there we go. Can't even do that. Another thing that exists in this game that really hinders smoke. I don't know why some people refuse to use this tool. Some people just ignore it or say it's brain dead, or I've never heard something get so much like criticism when it's there for everyone. It's designed to help you, especially in this game. So you might as well use it to make, things easier for you, I understand not wanting to build a habit, but just, practice not making it one. And some of you may know what I'm talking about. Before I go any further, it's the up block. We'll just do that for now. Right? There is so much debate or controversy on this move. A lot of people don't use it. A lot of people hate when other people use it. Like, everyone, it's granted to everyone. And like I was saying, I understand you not wanting to, possibly make it a habit so that, like, if someone does this to you, you uplock it, but then they decide to jump in and do this to you. And it's like, oh, I don't want that to happen to me. Like, first off, this is a fighting game. You're going to get mixed. You're going to get opened up. It's fine. If it happens, it happens. Just take note of that. And if they keep, oh, let's go back to this. Let's say they keep doing this, right? And they get, let's just say they want you to up block, right? They get that up block, you punish them, right? And the next thing they jump in, they grab. Chances are, they're probably going to jump in and do that grab again. So, once they do jump in to grab, you can just duck. That's if you're paying attention to the order that your opponent does things. Now, if you're uncomfortable altogether, you don't want to deal with that, just uppercut. Oh, I messed up. Like, that takes out the possible mix altogether. Oh, there we go. I'm waiting. I don't need to wait. But why is up blocking so important? Well, normally Smoke is -4, and he gets access to a follow-up. Right? He's safe. That's +2 even. He's got an extra follow-up. It's like, what can I do in this situation? Well, if you up block, that kick is no longer an issue, and he becomes -19 instead of +2. Now, you tell me why you would want to be put in a +2 situation versus a -19 situation. Like, that sounds pretty good to me. And then same thing for this move. Now, on hit, that extra move will come out, but if you block it, oh boy. There's no move, or there's no follow-up. It does not exist. And he is also -15, giving you time to punish. Now let's say you don't want to deal with that. And let's say he's also doing this on top of that. Well, up block takes that out of the equation. He has no cancel or follow-up. Up block cancels every single follow-up unless it is an ambush, because ambushes act on their own. Oh boy, messing this up. There is no cancel. There is no follow-up. Right? it does it's not there. It's gone. Mix, right? Gone. Another thing I want to touch on briefly that I kind of forgot about. Oh. Is doing this slow into this slow, right? Doing this twice is the same as doing it's the same as doing that. It's just not a threat. You don't have to respect that. Now, you may be uncomfortable dealing with this, but that is why you have to come into the lab and drill these situations so that you can get used to reacting to them. So, how can we do that? Well, you can have the computer do that, right? For one slot. Then you go to the next slot. Do that. And then you go to the third slot. If you want to make it harder. Do that. And you just look for the overhead. And you'll want to drill that so that you can get better at not falling for smoke shenanigans. So doing exercises like these, I promise you, will help you get better at dealing with smoke. And that is coming out in order, which I didn't really even realize. You can even put that on random if you want to make it harder. But that's just an example. Promise you, doing these exercises and going to the replays will help you have an easier time with smoke. So, we've gone over cancels. Just remember that if a smoke player is canceling in your face in like rapid succession and you don't see like, you know, you don't see that they spent a bar, feel free to interrupt. Just make sure you know when exactly to interrupt and that you've practiced your timings. Next we'll talk about is oh, that's Melina, excuse me. Teleport. I have Melina on screen just to demonstrate a little something. Now, I went over this briefly, but this teleport, like, it says 10 frames, but it's like I've only caught a few people off guard with this. This rarely hits anybody. It's not that fast. Versus Melina, which is a lot faster. But the ultimate thing I'm trying to drive home here is set smoke up to do these things that you may be getting hit by, so that you can have a better chance of reacting to them. You're getting hit by this teleport, set it up, practice blocking it, even wait a little bit, you know? Oh no, combo. Smoke player, you know, getting away with this on you, right? Oh, you got me. Practice ducking it. Now, keep in mind, if you've never seen something, you're probably going to get hit by it. So the way we get better at dealing with that stuff is practicing reacting to it. And it's a pretty generous window, you know, it's 20 frames, especially if he's that far. And it's like, well, what if he's doing that? Alright, well, you wait. And even though they changed it to a mid, you can still up block it for whatever reason. They should have just left it as an overhead because, like, it doesn't matter. You know, just wait for it. Even if you don't up block, he's still highly unsafe. Unless he is throwing out a cameo to make himself safe. But if you don't want to deal with the cameo, just up block. And you don't have to worry about it. Unless it is an ambush cameo. So let's say he does something like that, right? Doesn't even say on the block what it is. Well, look at that. All we had to do was wait. And it was still a punish. Alright. Let us move on. Let's talk about Smoke's wake up and his invisibility as well. Alright, so this one, you know, you have Smoke down on the ground. If you hit him, he gets a free punish with Striker, right? And if you don't hit him, he gets invisibility, right? So it's like, what do I do here? Well, let us try it together. Now, with Noob, this takes a little bit of timing. You can do this. You won't get time to up block, but you can bait out that overhead so that he is free to punish. Because as you can see... Oh. If I do the mid... I still have time to block it. And he is negative 14. Now, this is not an easy thing to do. It will require some drilling, especially if you play Noob. But pick a fast option to try and hit him to activate the armor so that you can bait his wake up and you don't gotta deal with the invisibility. But let's say you don't have the timing now, right? Let's say it's really hard for you and you're still working on it. Well, simply let him wake up, anti-air. That is option 2 right there. You can even do that. Now, I think I set this up right, but another thing you'll see Smoke players do is this, right? Oh, messed up. And see, it's just not even a problem. Especially if you're like noob. Noob is really good at getting out of stuff like this. Now, your character might not be able to do this, but you might be able to get away with the air combo into something else. Just try and get yourself away from the gun. It doesn't even reach me there. Also that. Oh. Not a problem. Alright, so you can't really make the computer, or you can. It's easier to have a different or another controller to set this up. Because like they don't start like knocked down. Because we want him to wake up and call the cameo, but it's a little hard to do. So we're just gonna have him do this. This is one I see, right? Free invisibility, get in. Well. Oh, I messed up. And, like, I get it. This stuff is not easy to deal with the first time you're seeing it, which is why I'm stressing you go into the lab and you practice this stuff so that you can get better at dealing with it. Because there is ways around this. Like, I get it. You see the cameo on screen, you're like, oh, what's going to happen? You're trying to, you know, think of a way out of it, but, like, you might not always have the answer right away. But don't just, you know, stand there and, like, let them get away with doing this to you. Like, as soon as you see that striker come up, just... Oh, God. Do the slide. Bam. He can't hurt you no more. But what if he's coming in with the grenades, right? Doing that to you. Well, doesn't matter. Oh, that mattered. Gone. I almost forgot what I was supposed to do here. Oh, there we go. See, this option that I'm doing right now is probably not the best one, but you can see eventually we just don't get hit by the bombs if you time it correctly. But we're just going through it to see where that's at. Oh, God. There we go. And you were probably thinking at the beginning, that's never gonna work. Well, it did. It's just hard to time, that's all. I understand this is for noob, so like you might have to find something else with your character, right? But that's another thing I want to talk about is a lot of things. Another thing I don't see a lot is changing up your cameo. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. I understand. I have you guys, da da da. You have the dedicated mains, and it's like, fine, you can have your mains, but maybe have your main and a couple cameos. Don't just dedicate yourself to one cameo. Get yourself a few different ones so you know how they work and when you can use them in different situations. Because this right here, you can deal with this. Oh, just put on the armor. And then you don't have anything to worry about. Put that on. Bam. Anti-air combo. All your problems are solved. I guess people are trying to play this game in a certain way, which I don't fully understand, but you have uplocking and you have cameos to counter these things that are happening to you. If I don't want to deal with Striker, I don't have to. Alright, so let's talk about Smoke's invisibility. I understand it's a pretty scary thing, right? You can do low to you, or do the low overhead. Let's see if he does it. Oh, he did the low. And it's like, how are you supposed to tell, right? Well, we're gonna go over some things that can help you. Now, for this specifically, this is gonna be really hard to deal with because it is gonna take some other means to be able to react to it, right? Now you can't see that, but you can hear it. Now this is not an easy thing to do, but if you want to get better at this, you have to drill this. See that? Oh, I was wrong. Stood too early. You want to be able to build patience so that you can get better at reacting to this. Oh, see, I'm getting too antsy. Oh, that was it. I heard it at the last second. There we go. So that's how you deal with that. You have to really listen for it. If smoke is... Another thing you can keep an eye out for. Is this move right here. Oh, messed up. You can still see him fly across the screen. And I understand you might be thinking, well, how am I supposed to pay attention to all this stuff if, there's multiple things going on screen? Well, that is why it takes practice. So you want to break down the character first, then add on the cameo, and I was gonna say what your opponent might be doing to you, but this is Smoke doing this. So react to the smoke first. That is the issue. That is the goal. That is the problem that we're trying to deal with. Practice with him, then add on the cameo. And then once you get all comfortable with it, right? Ignore that. You start adding in your combos. Once you have it down pat. Another thing to keep an eye out for is the cancels themselves. So, you can still see the cloud while he's invisible. So if you see that cloud, you'll know you can interrupt. And that is pretty much the main gist of it. You really want to train your senses and drill these things that smoke players like to do, myself included. You want to practice reacting to those scenarios so that you can have a better time fighting him, or possibly an easier time fighting him, and so that he's not so annoying. So another thing about Smoke is he has some armorable gaps. So if you really don't want to sit in his pressure or deal with certain strings, then feel free to armor out. If you really don't want to up block this string right here, you can armor it. Or this one. This one grants them +2, but if you armor out of that, you don't have to worry about it. And because this string alone is armorable, that automatically takes out these other strings right here, because they still start with forward 1, 2. This one right here... Oh, I messed up. Haven't played in a while. But that one is not armorable. This one is armorable. I was about to say, how did I hit him? The meter ran out. So that's armorable. This is the overhead move, right? Or we talked about earlier that if you just block it alone, it's unsafe. And that extra follow-up won't come out if you block it. And if you don't want to deal with the low altogether, you just up block. What about that? Oh, yep, there's another armor right there. Oh, wait. That's armorable. This string, because it's armorable, you won't see that other kick. Armorable. So there's a lot of strings here that can be armored, except like a couple. So let's go over it. Let's summarize this. His cancels are interruptible unless he's enhancing them. You got certain cameo situations that you can get out of. You just have to lab it with your character to figure out what you can and can't do. His teleport is reactable. His overheads are reactable. The main thing you want to take away from this guide, like, don't think you're gonna just watch this and you're gonna beat up the next Smoke player you see like flawlessly. I mean, you might, but the point of this guide is to really get you to practice these things so that you can beat him or have an easier time doing so. Because it's gonna take time to get good at doing this type of stuff. Don't just look at Smoke and be like, well, that's what he can do. I can't do anything about it. But you can. You can do a lot of things about, like, just some of this stuff alone. This was... Now, this isn't like every single cameo, every single possible thing he can do, but the main components that make up Smoke, Smoke alone is what we're focusing on. And you can shut a lot of that down. Because if he's, you know, coming in here, right? Where's this one? Sonya. What button is it? Oh shit. I forgot. I'm Smoke. There we go. What button is it? There we go. He's coming up at you with a double overhead, like, you know, just... Like, that's +6. Or, no? I jumped the gun, it's +1. I could have swore it was safer. But it pushes you a pretty far distance back for +1. Like, that's pretty good. Like, why would you want to be in that situation? Just uplock it. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Just don't. Just save yourself the headache. Don't deal with this pressure. Just don't. Another thing, if your reactions are really good, you don't even have to uplock. Just poke him. But this can be hard to do. You have to really practice this stuff. Or shit, make him whiff. Which is also hard to do. Let's see if we can do it. Yep. I don't recommend doing that because it's dangerous, but you can do it. Well, that's pretty much the gist of it. Just practice reacting to, like, cancels, his lows and overheads, practice up blocking, but don't get, like, too comfortable doing it in case they try to mix you. Listen for the sound cues of... Oh, hold up. This knife. Set the Smoke player up on the recording to, you know, do the cancels. And if you can't do them, that's fine. Just take your time learning them. Or, like I said, find a Smoke player in Combat League, or just someone who plays Smoke in general. Have them fight you, save the replay, and just go through it. Go through the situations they put you in and see if there is any way out of them. Because this character, like, at first glance, he looks great, but he's not all that scary. Like, you can get around this. It's not impossible. But now we're gonna move on to how to actually play this character. And if you watched this far, then you either, you know, want to learn how to destroy him completely, or just looking to play him all the way through. So let's get started. Alright, so this section of the guide is what I think about Smoke, how to play him, some things that I have found that works, and just really explaining my side with this character. I I do like playing him, but I also find him really annoying. It's like a love-hate relationship. Like this character can be decent, but at the same time, he's also really bad. He's a lot of gimmicks, so keep that in mind. Your opponent may or may not know about him, but the way this character is designed, um, they have him do these cancels. They want him to make it seem like he's a high pressure character, right? You're doing the cancel in rapid succession on your opponent's face, trying to get him to freak out, which can be good, but as you get higher up, this may not always work. So do these learn the cancels, but do them with caution. So one thing that is really strong, if your opponent doesn't armor here, but they know they can mash on this cancel, right, and get a free combo, or they're looking to grab you out of it, right? Let's say they're going for the grab. Now, because this is +2, or excuse me, -6. That's what I'm talking about. You do have time to get a duck here. I'll show you what I mean. Make sure he's blocking. Yeah. So this is really strong. If you want to try and bait a grab, you can do that. I don't see this a lot. But this is just mainly for if you know your opponent likes to grab. Let's say they don't respect those cancels at all, and they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna grab you. Well, you can do that. Another thing is what I think this character is really good at is whiff punishing and bait and punishing. So get your opponent to press a button, because you have this skip neutral tool, right? Let them throw something out, and then you come in, bam. But don't do that move specifically. There we go. I forgot, it's just horrible. Oh no. Oh, that's hard. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, another thing about the or before I go any further, yeah, look for whiff punishes. Get your opponent to do something so that you can hit them and then go into your combo. The cancels are good to learn, even if you don't feel like doing them on block. They can make your combos do more damage, which is pretty important. So even though I don't particularly like doing this on block all the time, sometimes I'll do it, right? I'll come in and just see what my opponent does. This is giving up my turn constantly. And even if you don't like doing them, right? You just sometimes I'll do them on block, right? I'm doing shit like this. I know he's not blocking right now, but you get the idea. Doing that, right? Sometimes I'll do them, sometimes I won't. But even if you don't like doing them, they're good to learn, because you can possibly get an opponent that will freak out, and you're like, oh, I got him to do exactly what I wanted. They saw this cancel, right? And they thought an overhead was coming. Right? That you did that, and they decided to, oh shit, I need to uplock. And then that's just another low. But that's no different versus doing that. If your opponent is antsy, they're antsy. They're gonna stand whether they see that they see that low or vanish or not, because like they're anticipating the the up block or the overhead in a lot of times, right? Like this does nothing else unless you do that, right? Unless you do cameo shit. Like, so you know there's nothing else. But um they are still good to have because, especially in combos, because you'll do a lot more damage with them. That is the main thing. Is even if you aren't doing them on block a lot, make sure you learn them for your combos, because if you look here, if I do that combo, right? Versus that, it's a lot more damage. So really learn the cancels so that you can get the most bang for your buck in your combos. Another thing is we're gonna talk about some cameo stuff here. This is pretty funny. A lot of people, like in the beginning, not everyone, they get hit by this because it's a double low. Now, that is no different than this. Or that. It's the same. Madame Bo is faster than Frost, but it's just a mixed tool. And like same thing with Striker, he's got lows and overheads. So any one of those can like give you the double low, or like if you got like Chameleon, you get the double overhead. Like it can be hard to react to. So really incorporate that into your gameplay. Like think of, especially if you know your opponent's antsy, you know, to come in, see if they up block. And just bam. Ignore that, I dropped that. So we have looking for whiff punishing, bait them to do something so you can get your attack. Like if you see them throw out a move and they whiffed it, like you got them to do that, then just do that. Do that. And you're in. But don't always start off. I have this problem too. But so I understand, I get it. You want to hit them with a surprise attack sometimes, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But don't always just throw out back two, because there's a chance that they'll just block it, or they'll up block it, and you're better off actually landing this instead of just getting it blocked. You'll get a lot more mileage out of it if it actually lands. And there's also the problem of them possibly just poking you out of the air. So keep that in mind when just throwing this move out. Really make sure they confirmed a move and it whiffed, and then just bam. Like, they may get annoyed at you while you're waiting around for them to do something, but fuck them. Just wait, and then bam, you're in. So you want to do stuff like that. Look for the whiff. Bait them to do something so that they can whiff in the first place. Mix in your cameo. Don't be predictable with this string right here. Really test their reactions. If you're feeling dangerous, throw this out. See if they up block. If you know that, then really try to play with them. Like poke them, see if they up block, and if they don't do anything, sometimes a lot of times they'll be really patient. And you poke them with this, right? They won't do anything. Then you just grab them. But be careful if they're a really good player and they see you they see that brief pause, right? They might duck it. So keep that in mind. Just pay attention to what your opponent's doing and then follow up from there. If you know they're gonna duck and their reactions aren't like maybe that good, then you might be able to get away with, well, they ducked my grab. I can get this possibly. Even though this is reactable, they might not always react to it. So don't always be scared to throw it out, but throw it out with caution. Like if they're up blocking every time, just stop completely. But it is better to, because Smoke doesn't really have a mid, but he does have a really fast low. So it is better to mix low grab into low instead of low overhead. Because you have a 12 frame low and a 10 frame grab. Like that's pretty good. Versus 24 frames. Like that's not great. Or if you know your opponent's like mashing in the middle of this a lot, like you've got them to, or let's say you condition them to mash, right? Like you keep doing this to them and they poke you constantly every time. Get them really comfortable with that, just poking in the middle of this, and then just surprise, bam, overhead. Because they can't mash in the middle of this. Let's go. Where am I going? Reversal mode on. Recording. There we go. See, you tried to mash. He can't. And there's a combo right there. Throw the bottle at him. So we have, let's run it all through, right? We have whiff punishing. We have the mash. We have playing with their heads if you can, you know, which has to deal with the mash. Working in your cameo, keep yourself safe. There we go, we got a backdash there. So I haven't really labbed that one that much, but just after a few attempts, we found something. Damn, he did something. Oh, I can't mash in the middle of that. Interesting. So yeah, look for ways to, you know, use your cameo. I really like Sub-Zero because you get the ice armor. You don't have to deal with projectiles. You get this parry, which can be pretty good for wake ups.
hero skewers the victim's skull with ice daggers. He headbutts them. With a backflip, Smoke slices open the victim's chest with a knife. He throws a bomb, then leaps to stab down through their eye socket.
584. That's pretty good. So you got that. You got Tremor is really good. Chameleon, you get the double overhead, unless they're paying attention to the cameo bar and what like order you're doing this stuff in. But not a lot of people do. Farrah's okay. Something funny you can do with Jax. I don't see this, or I haven't seen this yet, but so they buffed this, right? It's unblockable, and it's the buff they gave it is now it hits full screen. Why? I don't know, but you can do that. Oh, wait. Is it not? There you go. Like that is, I don't know if you would want to spend 2 bars there, but that wasn't bad. We got and because he's in the air, you're in. Like that's pretty diabolical. Now, also, again, for those still watching, you're looking to beat Smoke. This is what I'm saying. Like, you see a crazy shit like that, you need to lab it and see if there's a way around it. Like, someone might take this and start running around with it. I don't know. Could happen. I messed up there, but you know what? It's fine. I wouldn't call this like a super advanced guide either. It's just more to like get you started and really drive home like how to get better at dealing with Smoke, or just, you know, really get the gears moving on like how to play this character, how to put it together. Because like you want to have like with every character, you want to have a good combo, right? Or a decent combo that you can come back to your bread and butter. Situate yourself with, you know, or get familiar with quite a few different cameos so that you can like really come up with something like nasty or really good to deal with your opponent, or like catch your opponent off guard. Like, I got this, right? Bam. Like, I don't. They might be able to do something about this. Like, this is. Well, let's see. Oh, wait, that's Ermac. Let me switch sides here. What's it on block? Bam. Doesn't say. But we can still hit him, so it doesn't matter. So, lab out if your options are good or not, but don't be afraid to throw in something stupid every now and then just to see if your opponent even knows about it. But if they know about it, just don't do it. Like, be cautious about the stuff you do. Like, these are already +8 there, but I think, let's see. Yep, that takes care of the duck right there. No, you can't do it during. Oh. They still never fixed that. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the whole thing right there. This Smoke is an interesting character. Like he's mainly just gimmicks. Don't let it get to your head. Um, this character is not all that, but he can still be fun, and you can still succeed with him just because he's not a great character does not mean you can't be good with him. But there is plenty more to be worried about in this game than Smoke. Like, for me personally, and I think for many other Smoke players, like when we say buff Smoke, we are not talking about his damage. His damage is fine. Like he does his damage is I messed up there, but you can tell it doesn't take much to get 30. Like this alone 383, like he's not starving for damage. Or that sub combo I did, the 585 with the fatal blow, like. But no, we want like other tools that make him, actually a little better, or like, close the gaps on some of his strings. Like this is +2 on block, but if our opponent is, doing armor every time, we're not getting that +2 at all. Like, again, I know a lot of people don't armor in this situation, but if someone's armoring this every time, like, you can kiss that +2 goodbye. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this guide was useful. For those looking to have an easier time in the matchup, Drill reacting to his overheads and his cancels. If you see a situation you are not familiar with that the Smoke puts you in, go to the replays or set it up yourself and see if you can get out of it. His invisibility, pay attention to how the screen moves. If you hear the sound of the blade, or if you see the screen move, then practice seeing that stuff or getting noticing that. Now I understand there's a lot going on the screen, so it's like, how am I supposed to pay attention to all that stuff? But you have to look at it one step at a time and then put it all together. So like, if Smoke's, invisible, I can't even do it right now. If he's invisible, right? He's doing this to you. Just practice that alone. Getting used to up blocking this, or just blocking it in general. Or and like, let's say let's say the invisibility, you're not ready for that yet. Just start with this first. Then make him go invisible. Then add in the cancels. Practice this move right here. Practice ducking it. If he and then add in this. If you really want to beat this character, then you don't want to have as much trouble with them, drill these things. And I promise the matchup will be easier. And for the people looking to play him, get your cancels down, but you don't need to have them super mastered unless you plan on competing and all this other stuff. Just make sure that you have them down mainly for your combos, because your combos are going to get a lot more mileage if you cancel in them. Look for whiff punishing, see how you can get in your opponent's head, come up with different setups. Cameos I like to use are mainly Sub-Zero, Frost. I haven't used Frost in a while. Kung Lao can be good. I haven't really used him that much. I think Madame Bo is a sleeper pick, honestly. Scorpion's pretty good. Sonya, Striker's everyone's favorite. Getting a lot of damage, some extra mix, some safe mix, B plus. I want to say Cyrex, but I don't see that one a lot. Sector and Tremor are good. I don't use them much, but if you want to use them, you need to have your cancels down for sure. Jax looks like he has some funny things. Chameleon, I do like Chameleon a lot. But that is pretty much it. Oh, and there's also Pharah. Pharah can be decent. So, I hope you found this useful. Go out, play Smoke, or no. Utterly destroy him. But, yeah. Thank you for watching.